Hello, and welcome to another stream of Tomb Raider 2 Remastered. I had to post my go live. Um, just want to thank everyone for joining. Hey there, Gamer Loop. Welcome on in. How's things going for you? As for me, I'm doing really good. It's Tuesday here, and Tuesdays I do a split stream. But it's going well. It's going really good. We're up to the monastery level, and I don't know how far I'll get in this short stream, but I'll be streaming for about a couple of hours for this stream, maybe a little bit over as well.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Hey there, Viper. Welcome on in. How's it going? We're up to one of my favorite levels, the Barkang Monastery. if you end up shooting any of the monks, they will actually start to attack you. And then from that point on, they'll keep attacking you on sight.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Viper, going good, just playing some Borderlands 2. Oh, great, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. And how's Borderlands 2 coming along? Hey there, Mr. Goatee. How's it going today, dude? Viper, it's going okay. Just playing Tiny Tina's DLC to try and get the raid boss done. Ah, so have you played through that game all the way before, or is this like a first time run, or?
Uh-huh.
Viper, you tried it before, but you always did no damage to the bosses. Oh, okay. You always did no damage before. With games where there's like a lot of enemies shooting at you, like it would feel like very difficult to do like a no damage kind of thing, especially, having weapons that are more modern versus something like, Assassin's Creed, where you've got at least the projectile weapons that you're being shot with can be, you know, more easily dodged.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Where did Lara go? Huh! Lara, where'd you go? If I switch back to the old school graphics, it just goes black screen. If I switch back to the remaster, it goes this screen. There we go. Lara's back to Earth.
Uh-huh.
Hey there, Tyling. Good morning, dude. It's going really, really good. Things are going well today. And Remastered Lara's going great. She went up in the clouds for a little bit, but she came back down to Earth. How's it going with you, dude? I hope you're having a good day. Tyling, that's good to hear. You did see and had no idea what was happening. Things are going well. Thanks, enjoying 4 days off, so it's a bit nice. You got the remaster collection last night as a plus as well. That is awesome, Tyling, and I'm glad that things are going well. That's excellent. And 4 days off, hell yeah. Great. That's good that you got the remaster collection as well. Yeah, I've been really enjoying this collection. It's going to be interesting to see some of the things in Tomb Raider 3 remastered.
Uh-huh.
sometimes in this game, or these old school Tomb Raider games in general, I like to make a save at a juncture point, just in case an area I'm curious about that is far away from that point leads to either nothing. Well, if it leads to nothing, then at least I've got that save back at that spot where I want to continue forward. But when I'm unsure of something and I want to backtrack, it comes in handy, because if I'm wrong and where I'm backtracking to doesn't have anything to offer, at least I don't have to travel all the way back there. I can just reload the save. Colin, you really wish they did with this did this with all PS1 games now. I think so too, as well. And the thing about it is, whether or not people actually like the old graphics doesn't matter, because the ability to switch to the old school and or stay with the remasters is a good selling point, because it's like, sure, like when you first load the game up, you'll have to see the new graphics, but if you want to play with the old graphics, you can just switch, you know. If you don't like the old school graphics, you can just keep the remastered on, you know. So there's definitely a lot of games that would be beneficial for, and also for console gamers who can't have access to mods that PC versions get, or expansion packs in the case of Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3, that were previously just available on PC. It's a great opportunity to get those players able to actually experience those things as well. So there's so many multifaceted things about remastering games in this way that is beneficial for multiple different kinds of people and gamers, and what sort of like experiences they're looking for and stuff. Hey there, Terry.
Ah, they're sick in the head. They forgot I'm him. I'm the himulation. I am him, Kardashian. Got my DNA test back. Turns out I'm 100% Himalayan.
Thanks for redeeming the Bane impression. Hope it's going well. But this is where it can backfire, when you're backtracking and you actually die. I could have made another save, of course, on a different slot. But I kind of want to keep the save slot that I'm using for my first time playing the remastered graphics to be kept. So I can say this top save is the save that I made when I first played the remastered versions. Oh, that's good, Terry. Welcome on in. Hey, Tingar. This is really happening. It really, really is. Yes, Tomb Raider 2. Finished Tomb Raider 1 the other day and started this the other day as well. And I did the Croft manor first and then jumped into the story. How's things going for you today? Goat, 2 is better than 3, which is better than 4, and better than 1, and better than Angel of Darkness, and better than 5. 5 equals trash. Yeah, that's definitely fair. As much as Chronicles is a game that I always like to replay for my annual playthroughs, it's not a game that I like to just randomly choose out of all the games to play randomly. You know what I mean? Like, In the future, there might be times where I do for certain things, but generally speaking, 5 is kind of like just a by the numbers, get it done kind of thing. It does have some aspects to it that I like. I mainly like the well, I like the stuff with the submarine and all that kind of stuff. To be honest, the only part of that game's setting and stuff that I don't like at all is the Von Croy industry stuff. Like, it's kind of cool to get an explanation for how Von Croy got himself out of the trap in the flashback to Last Revelation, or in Last Revelation. But I feel that could have been done in like a cutscene. You know what I mean? Like, one of the other characters could have just asked Winston, something like this history with Lara and Von Croy, how did it start? And how did he actually, how did he survive? And Winston could have just said, the artifact that he and Lara found had teleportation tech, was, whatever, just explain it like that. And they could have used that whole part of the game that they did in the Von Croy Industries for something else. This is not my world. Disappointed. Welcome, Casper. How's it going? Tinga just completed this map 30 minutes ago. Oh, well, that's good, Tinga. That's good that you completed it. The monastery is actually my favorite part of the game. It's my favorite level, the monastery. But the whole area in Tibet is just really, really cool as well. And yeah, Tinga, I know how to get past that part. I just wanted to explore a little bit before deciding where I wanted to actually go next. But yeah, definitely don't like backseating. Thanks for redeeming the rest in peace, Lara. Just trying to think, what did you want the death to be, Tinga? Did you want it to be jumping and diving from a great height? Did you want it to be drowning? Or did you want it to be... what else is there? Oh, the spinning blades as well. There's also those two. Colin, did you see Crystal Dynamics' new Lara Croft edit? I didn't really. I haven't really been getting involved in that whole big thing, the big deal with it. It's all a bit just noise to me. I mean, I didn't really have any issue with the redesign at all, so I don't know what the big catastrophic world-ending problem is with it, but it's up to see what the finished product delivers. So Tinga, is there any particular death you'd like to see Lara do, or do you want me to just choose?
Aha. Aha.
Talion, regardless of what happens with Tomb Raider, you would like them to put the Croft Manor in the game, like they did with these originals, and no, not DLC. Yeah, I think so too. I hope that they bring that back, and it seems that they're going to go back to the dual pistols as well, which is good. And the animated series takes place after Shadow, but I think I remember reading there's going to be a time jump in that story in the animated series. So that time jump could be used so well to explain any kind of changes that are made to the reboot version to bring her back more to the original style of thing, while still keeping the same continuity as the reboot trilogy moving forward. There's nothing to say that Natla doesn't exist in the reboot universe. There's nothing to say that Amanda doesn't exist. There's nothing to say that the events of Tomb Raider 2, 3, and all that could never happen. Because the beauty of the reboot trilogy is that setting Lara in her 20s means that they can have Lara be more like her classic self in her 30s, because Lara, the classic Lara, was in her 30s, Okay, so I'm just going to choose myself what the death will be for Lara for the rest in peace. Tiling about time for the duels as well. Wonder if they'll have a bow in any form. And yeah, they really could do so much. I think if they wanted to still keep some stealth mechanics, I still think the bow would be good for that kind of stuff. Because I don't want them to completely get rid of stealth from it, but give a choice. If you want to go in there guns blazing, for sure. But if you want to go in there stealthily, you can do that too, as well. But yeah, I'm glad that they're bringing the dual pistols back, because that was there's many things that I disagree with haters of the Tomb Raider the reboot trilogy on. But the one thing I will not disagree on is that Lara should have had her pistols earlier. They teased it too much and didn't deliver on it. Okay, Lara's going to accidentally die. Thanks for redeeming that, Tinga. The monks are just walking around like nothing happened. A woman just did a swan dive from really up high and fell and broke her neck, and they're just like, nice weather today, isn't it? Mr. Gote, yeah, it's nice weather. Monk number 2. It seems to be raining Crofts, am I right? Yeah. It's I didn't expect this to happen today. I didn't manifest this experience. timing wrong. Fuck. I thought, yeah, I'll be very, very tricky. You know those videos where you see, like, the same character in different situations walking along a similar path in the same point of the game? I was trying to emulate that kind of feel. But I guess consider this a blooper reel of that kind of thing. The things that could possibly happen when they try and do those kinds of videos with video games. It's like, let's compare all these characters from the one game on the screen at once, going through the same area just to compare which one did it better. Hey there, Gizlek. How's it going? Welcome on in. Do you feel deeply ashamed of playing the thing Crystal Dynamics hates with a burning passion yet? No, I don't really play into the blown out of proportion, overly exaggerated kind of like nonsense that goes on in the fan base sometimes. So yeah, it doesn't worry me. Oh, that's good. I thought for a moment there I was actually accidentally shooting the monk as well. I thought I was alternating between the two. But all I'll say about that thing too is it's really just opinions. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if someone was to put a warning at the top of a game saying, there might be some things in this game that will disgust you. It's just like a disclaimer, you know what I mean? And it's just an opinion, you know, because like, for example, the horror games that have, you know, this game contains scenes of explicit violence and gore. You know, that's just something to put as a disclaimer so that people who aren't looking for that kind of game will know. You know, so it's just an opinion though, because to some people that might not be that violent and graphic. you know. So the whole thing about, you know, there's things about the old school games that might be considered, you know, stereotypical or, you know, racist or anything like that. It's all down to opinion. And if you don't want to play a game because of a disclaimer, that's fair enough. But I think everything else about the product is done well. It's not like they've taken those characters out. Like, it's not like they've changed the story and taken out elements of the story. You know what I mean? They're still actually there. And it's more like a company thing to cover their own ass as well. You know, if someone was to say, hey, you know, this game is racist, how dare you release it? Then they can say, well, look, this is a disclaimer at the start of the game. You know, you knew what you're getting into based on that. You know, so I really see it as an issue that's not that major. Like, I could see why it could open the floodgates for major issues. And yeah, there has been some censorship. Like, on the back of Pierre's jacket in the original version, the woman who's actually on the back of his jacket is topless. But the rating for the game and the classification board at the time completely missed it. But in the remastered version, when you actually look at Pierre's jacket, even when you switch to the old school graphics, they've put a top on the girl on the back of his jacket. Now, for some, that might be, oh, how dare they do that? But to me, it's understandable. You know, it doesn't change Pierre as a character. You know, he still has that jacket. He still has a woman on the jacket. You know, it's still a provocative kind of thing. You know, they haven't changed the dialogue and all that kind of stuff. So I just really feel it's an issue that, yeah, I can see why some people are upset about it, but is it boycott worthy or is it, you know, condemnation worthy? Does it mean Crystal Dynamics hate Tomb Raider? I think that's hyperbole that certain YouTubers, and I'm not going to name any names, but there's one in particular that is very vocal about this kind of stuff that I feel blows a lot of stuff out of proportion and seems to be someone that likes to put themselves on a pedestal and claim that they're the face of the fandom and that, you know, their opinions are the only opinions that actually matter and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I think it's not really an issue. It hasn't prevented me from enjoying the remasters. But like anything in life, it's understandable if people have issue with something. You know, they don't have to play the games. They don't have to watch the movie. It's like violence in movies and people who complain about violence in movies. You don't have to watch the movie. If you don't like the violence in the movie, don't watch it. Because, like, you kept thinking if you're back to murder him or what. Yeah, you got to be careful because you can accidentally, like, you can if you want to, like, shoot the monks in this, but I definitely don't like to, and they're very, very helpful as well, if you keep them alive, and they didn't do anything wrong anyway, so, you know, but, sometimes you can accidentally shoot them because you might go to aim and shoot at the enemy, but by the time you do, they've already been killed by the monk, and then you might instinctually start shooting, and then boom, you've started to hurt them. Because, like, you think a word like inexcusable triggered it, laughed my ass off. I see, yeah. Well, I guess for some people, wording can definitely, you know, add or contribute to stuff as well. Mr. Goethe, oh no, a topless woman, whatever shall we do? Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to remember too that this game and these old school games, they came out in a time where ratings for games were relatively new. Movies had had them for a long time, and they had to balance out the fact that the demographic for video games had actually been changing over the time, and so in some ways is a bit like a compromise, you know. You can have games that are aimed at, you know, a certain demographic that are above 18 or not, you know, and the thing about Tomb Raider as a franchise is that it was never meant to be gratuitous. It was never meant to be um, pornographic or anything like that, you know. And I understand why some would think, oh yeah, you know, why not take? I said, like, they might think, why keep the naked woman on the back of Pierre's jacket, you know? But there's also people who play these games that, you know, are young, and so it's that compromise and balance to be made with that kind of stuff. And so I feel that making that change is definitely understandable, and it's not something I look at and go, oh, how dare they? They should be condemned for it. It's just natural that they would actually do something like that. Because it was probably one of those things where someone was like, "Oh, let's see if we can sneak this in," you know, and it bypassed the censors because it wasn't a detail that was probably looked at enough. Because, like, your favorite thing you read about this drama was a thread that went about how dare they show us nude dinosaurs. Yeah, I mean, you can take things in a meme and humorous way, obviously, in that kind of direction. Alright, so I need to stop talking for a moment because when I'm talking and playing a game, sometimes I go into autopilot mode and I lose track of what I might have done already in a game and where I was going. Alright, I understand now. So this led to this, so we can get back this way and go back the other way. Alright, cool. There we go.
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice, Viper. You beat the raid boss. Excellent. That's really good. So how was the battle overall? So it won't be in this stream, but I'm aiming to finish this whole game today, in the next stream that I'll do later on my time. But I want to make a slight change to the schedule with Tomb Raider 3. And the reason being, Assassin's Creed Mirage has an update coming out soon with a permadeath mode that's been added. And I want to take advantage of the timing of it, so I'm going to actually slot into the schedule a playthrough of Mirage on permadeath mode. But the update for it hasn't become available here in Australia yet, so once it does, though, I'll download the update and install it, because I've already reinstalled the game itself. So there will still be a Tomb Raider 3 stream this week. It's just that I'm thinking of temporarily, until I either finish that playthrough of Mirage or I just get sick of trying to get through it without dying, because, you know, it's not a short game in terms of, like, if you were to do a permadeath challenge. But just, you know, just out of curiosity, plus, you know, be good content as well. It's like, you haven't even gotten around to New Game Plus yet. Stop releasing games. Like, stop doing it. Yeah, I haven't got to New Game Plus yet either, as well. I was reading the patch notes about it, and there's different rewards for getting through the game on permadeath mode depending on what difficulty you've chosen. But because I'm not really looking at it as I must get that playthrough done, I'm just going to do it for content purposes. It's like, I'll just do it on easy and just see how it goes, and then in the future I can, you know, do other ones on the other difficulties and stuff. Don't think I gave a bit of an overview of this area with the remastered versus the old school graphics. And I may even skip cutscenes for that playthrough of Mirage as well. I just noticed that detail with the eyes moving. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? This has been a thing since the beginning. I don't ever remember when playing the PC version of this game or the PlayStation 1 version of ever noticing that the eyes actually are moving. I just thought it was something that they added for the remaster to be a bit creepy. Or maybe it was added for the remaster, but they decided to put it in for the old school as well. Interesting. Alright, so I want to get a shot for my thumbnail for this stream. I'd actually do some other things with the camera, but they need to patch the PlayStation version in photo mode, because when you actually press X to hide the UI, it also resets the settings, because the same button has been applied for both. So they really need to fix that glitch, or that issue. Otherwise, I definitely would do a different kind of facial expression and everything for Lara. There we go. It's about the hour mark and like 30 seconds. Is like they always be moving? Ah, well there you go. Yeah, that's something I never noticed when playing the other versions of this game all these years. Like how these monks are just casually walking through. Is like, you can probably Google those eyes and find a forum post from the mid-2000s, which is always fun. Reading stuff like, I don't know how I feel about Warcraft 3 being a Battle Realms clone. Yeah. It's funny to see things like that online. And then it really freaks me out. Not in, a literal way, but figuratively speaking, it always freaks me out when I see, like, the way that things used to look on the internet versus now, because it's been so many years since things looked a certain way with web browsers and stuff that it just feels surreal to me nowadays to see that. Because my brain has acclimatized so much to the evolution of how it's become as opposed to how it was. He's like, don't diss GeoCities. Now that's actually something I haven't heard for a very long time. Makes me feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi in A New Hope. Don't seem to remember ever owning a droid. Kind of vibe, where it's like, that sounds familiar. I don't remember ever using that site, but I probably did, but I can't remember.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Gizlek, you actually always enjoyed side navigation bars. You don't know why we got rid of them. Yeah. I mean, I don't remember ever having any sort of like issue with them or thinking, gee, we need to change this or something. It's very interesting when you think about stuff like that and why certain changes might have been made and stuff. Hey there, Sprocket. How's things going? Welcome on in. Facebook is GeoCities, except done much better. I still remember when Facebook first came in. It was like, thinking about MySpace and stuff, and it's like, oh, there's this new thing called Facebook. It's very weird to think now because it's so mainstream and there's so many people who use it, but back when it first started, it was like, maybe, I don't know, maybe 100 people around the world, maybe. I don't know. I've got no idea. It's not like I looked up statistics or something, but it was definitely very small scale back then. Gizlek, and then for some reason we used them in Discord again. Like, bros, make up your mind. It's like, come on, what are you doing? You're going not badly, Sprocket? Well, that's good. Good to hear that.
Uh-huh.
Because the remasters are new, it's been very hard to find images online that are actually the remasters because there's been so many mods by fans over the years, and also there's been some fan remakes in the works too. And so trying to find images that are actually related to the new games, it's very limited at the moment. So I decided to start to just use photo mode when playing the remasters to create a shot that I can then use for the thumbnail. Gizlek, in fact, you find the collapsible top bar navigation websites have these days more obfuscating than side navigation bars. Back then, you could just find a page you wanted to find. Now it's like, no, not here, I guess. Maybe here, no, ah. And the mobile-friendly scrolling layout and desktop browsers, oh god, it's generally a nightmare. It well and truly is, especially when you're trying to scroll down to where you want to read something, and it keeps on bringing your page back up to the part where the friggin' scroll down ad is. It's like, come on. And I hate that too, It's like, and especially with things that have been a thing for a long time now, and you would think, come on, after 10 years, surely there's a result that will come up in a Google search that actually matches what you're looking for. Within at least the first 5, results that come back to you, or, not like, scroll through 50 pages just to find the one thing. Good thing I came back down this way.
Uh-huh.
Gizlek, oh no, that's different. That's SEO being SEO. People throwing words into images and other page elements to make sure you see those 50 pages first. Ah, I got you, Gizlek, yeah. So that's some other kind of like thing that's been integrated. Sales ruin the internet like it ruined video games. Gotta love those sales. No, that didn't work. Thought I'd try that trick. Good thing I saved it first before trying that trick. Just Retro Andy, thank you so very much for the raid. Welcome on in. Thank you so much for that. Welcome on in, Raiders. Hope everything's doing well. Everyone's going well, I should say. Nice, you were playing the remasters as well. Excellent, that's cool. What one were you playing through? These are my favorite levels in this one. And in particular, this monastery level is my favorite. I love the monks as well. They're very, very helpful. As long as you don't shoot them, of course. Then they're not so helpful, which is definitely understandable. Wouldn't want to be too helpful after that either. Gizlek, you love the guys clipping through the walls and stairs. I do as well, Gizlek. It's so funny too, because they just walk through fire like it's nothing. And walk through those spinning blade like it's nothing as well. Just a daily thing that they do.
Uh-huh.
It's like, just like there is no spoon, the monks are like, there is no spinning blades. What you see is just a fraction, it's just an illusion. It's just your mind projecting the fear of doubt. It's nothing. Meanwhile, Lara's like, I need to make sure I don't get hit by these things. Just Retro Andy, thank you so very much for the follow. And apologies for the 10-minute follower wait. Over the years, I've had so much trouble with trolls, but also a stalker in particular, that it's just one measure that I've put in place. But thank you so much for the raid as well. Okay, so I don't have any of those keys. Oh yeah, that's just where the secret is. Not getting secrets for this playthrough. Alright, so this is where we put these prayer wheels in. Don't need to worry about that yet. Gizlek, by the way, you read Sam and Max, The Devil's Playhouse Remaster is literally around the corner. You know, I never actually played any of those ones. I like point-and-click adventure games and stuff, but they're ones that I haven't tried before. Hey Stan, welcome on in. Which corner? Well, that's a good question, because if we lived in a world where the Earth was flat, then saying around the corner could be difficult to fathom, because it'd be like, well, which corner of the Earth? But because the Earth isn't flat and it's actually round, then the question is it round the curve or around the corner? Gizlek, the Spring 2024 corner. Ah, that corner. Yes, that one has been foretold to be a corner in the year 2024. Stan, if the Earth is round, then why do corners exist? You know, that has completely changed my view about things now, Stan. Like, forget the question, or rather, forget the answer to the meaning of life. That, I think, is the most profound revelation in humanity's existence. Gizlek, to appease flat earthers, God is way too soft on them. It's like, well, I mean, you can believe that the Earth is flat, I guess, but until someone actually walks to the edge of the Earth and says, see, here's the edge, I'm looking over it, then it'd be like me saying, I'm a billionaire, and my name is actually Arnold Schwarzenegger, pretending to be an Australian. And that I'm married to Salma Hayek. If that were true, then maybe the Earth is flat. He's like, Earth is clearly a dodecahedron. Dodecahedron. Stan, Arnie having a Rod Legion impersonation redemption. Stan. Thanks for redeeming a Rod Legion impersonation redemption. Hello, this is Rod, and you might not know it from my voice, but I'm actually Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm here to say I'll be back. But first, I want to finish off the rest of this stream in Rod Legion's voice. Hey Lizzie, welcome on in. Gives like time to cameo Arnie. Wait, is he on Cameo? No. No, he's not. I actually checked. There is someone who apparently has been officially chosen by him to be the official impersonator for him, I think, on Cameo. But I don't know if we can confirm that or not. Stan? No, he is in Camo. Yeah. That was a great movie, Camo. I mean, it's easy to forget what it looked like, but it definitely was there. I saw something that resembled it. Not quick enough to press the button to get to the load screen. Anyway, where is the last time I loaded? Oh, it's not too far. Not too far away from there. That's not bad. Stan, was he the one in the Commando movie, or was it Van Damme? He was in Commando. In fact, he was the Commando. But he was in Predator. He was also in Commando. That's true. Arnie was in both of those. And originally, Van Damme was in the movie Predator as the Predator, but thankfully, not that I don't think he could have done a good job, but the suit for the Predator, the way that it looked originally, was ridiculous anyway, so I'm glad that they went with a redesign. Yeah, Kevin Peter Hall did a great job. He played the Predator in the first two movies, but he unfortunately passed away sometime after the second movie, sorry. Like, can you imagine the Predator doing a split like he does? If it splits, we can kill it. There we go. Andy, just have a good stream. You're happy to send a follow after the raid, but have to wait 10 minutes to say something's a bit ridiculous. Yeah, I definitely understand. But at the same time, I just need to make sure that I don't have undesirable people coming into chat and causing issues. It's unfortunately one of those things where it's like one bad apple and even the good apples have to, have some kind of thing that has to be put there, unfortunately. And I just did that again. Alright, so let's switch to a different weapon. To these ones. There we go, that's those enemies dealt with. This is why I like to actually keep a lot of health kits for as long as possible for situations like that. Gizlek, speaking of things being put there, sorry I missed the connection to that comment of what might have happened in the game at the time. Oh, the trapdoor Gizlek. Okay, I got you now. Yeah. Liz, imagine not having a life and stalking somebody on the internet. Sorry you had to go through that, Rod. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, and you know, that's part of, unfortunately, if anyone wants to get into streaming, unfortunately, it's one of those things where if it never happens to you, it's very lucky. But when it does, it's something that, you know, depending on how persistent they are, can really, really, you know, undermine things for you. Yeah, Sprocket, that's it. You know, it's just one of those things as well. It doesn't make it good, and it doesn't make the person, you know, someone that should be excused for it, but it is what it is. That's the way that things are on the internet. Sprocket, you were talking to someone earlier today about living in the 80s and 90s versus now. Your opinion was that you like modern download speeds in video games, everything else sucks. Yeah. Yeah, and I think, you know, there's just certain things that you take for granted at the time that you don't actually appreciate until they're essentially, you know, not applicable anymore. You know what I mean? Like, i.e., that's not how things are anymore, and things like that. Well, that didn't work how I was expecting it to work. Sometimes you can change the direction that Lara is moving while in midair enough to be able to have her facing straight onto something to then grab it. Alright, so we've got 3 of those, but that's not the complete set. Sprocket, some stuff is forced in us, but fortunately we don't have to blindly follow everything. Well, that's true too. You know, it's good to be able to analyze something and go, do I agree with this or disagree? If I do disagree, then these are the choices that can be made. Or if I do agree, then this is what I can do, or this is what can be done. Stan, how do you like the game than the original? Well, as someone who really likes the old school Tomb Raiders, as well as the concept of remastering stuff, I'll still play the version of 1, 2, and 3 that's remastered, but for my annual playthroughs, I'm always going to keep making them the original graphics. Number one, because when I do my annual playthroughs of these old school games, I like to, play them as close as possible to how they were when they were released. But the other thing is when doing my annual runs, it's going to make more sense to do the old school graphics for 1, 2, and 3, since 4, 5, and 6 haven't gotten remastered yet as well. But even if they do get remasters, like the first 3 have gotten, then when my annual playthroughs come up of those, I will still, play the old school graphics version. So I like that you can switch between the two. So I think it's very good that they did that. Plus, there's so many other ways in which it could be good. Like in the future, I could have a redemption for people to redeem, change it to the retro graphics for like a level or something. But not in these playthroughs I'm doing right now, though, or the annual ones that will follow at some point this year. Sprocket, Lara is being weird. How? I might have missed what was happening. Oh, I see, Sprocket. She was bending backwards and going, ah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, that's just for a secret. In this playthrough, not worried about getting secrets. Hello, Shaky. How's it going, dude? Welcome. When the ancient gods were petty and cruel, and they plagued mankind with suffering, only one man dared to challenge their power: Hercules. Hercules possessed a strength the world had never seen, a strength surpassed only by the power of his heart. He journeyed the earth, battling the minions of his wicked stepmother, Hera, the all-powerful queen of the gods. But wherever there was evil, wherever an innocent would suffer, there would be Hercules. Thanks for redeeming that from the Hercules The Legendary Journeys show. Casper, you can't believe you didn't see this one before. See or find. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I really like that intro. The one that they did for the movie, the made-for-TV movies before the series got greenlit, they do have a variation on that, but I can't remember the differences though in the wording.
Uh-huh.
Casper, imagine Arnold actually being the narrator. Now that would have been really cool. Especially because he played Hercules. One of his first movies was Hercules in New York. Casper, this key was big. You demand a refund. All the other ones were tiny. That is true. Yeah, there's definitely been some keys in the remastered graphics that are much bigger than the other ones in the same graphics.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit. I don't want to be shooting the monk. If you shoot at any of the monks, all the other monks, even if there were none near the other one, will actually attack you on sight, which I don't want.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Hey, Lynch Mob. How's it going? Welcome.
Aha. Aha. Aha.
Lynchmob, you're doing good. You just got done watching the new Wonka movie and going to play some more Vampire later. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're going well, Lynchmob. I haven't actually seen that movie myself. It's interesting to do like a prequel to the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie. I saw a really cool detail that came up in a YouTube short that I saw that links to an event later on in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And spoilers, I mean, I don't know how many people haven't seen the original adaptation of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but the prequel movie, this is also a spoiler for that as well, but the coin that Willy Wonka himself has in the prequel movie that he drops and falls down into the drain, or wherever it falls down into, that's the same coin that Charlie will later find all those years later. So I thought that was quite a little cool connective thing, and also a little bit of an Easter egg as well. Mob, yeah, in this Wonka movie, he actually dropped it by accident in the drain and couldn't reach it because his hands were too big, you guess. Plus, it was literally all he had left at the time before he became Willy Wonka. Then later, Charlie finds it in the drain and is able to reach it and uses it to buy the golden ticket. It was a perfect way to make the story come full circle like that. Absolutely, I love that kind of thing. It's great to, I mean, obviously it's a prequel, so they want to make sure that they're connecting it to that first movie. And sometimes the way in which they do that is effective and sometimes it's not. But it is good when they take the time to think about what kind of like references and connections can we actually show so that one person who's seen the first movie versus someone who hasn't, either way, depending on which one they see first, they can have an aha moment. whenever I think of these prayer wheels, I think about the movie starring Eddie Murphy called The Golden Child, where he has to help protect this child that is destined to do great things for the world. And he has to stop the evil forces of Saranumsi. I probably butchered that name, but if anyone's seen Game of Thrones, and I haven't seen it, so I don't know his character's name, but Charles Dance is in Game of Thrones. Anyway, he plays the villain in The Golden Child, and there's a special knife, dagger, that if the dagger falls into the wrong hands, they can actually use it to kill the child. And there's a scene where Eddie Murphy is in a monastery and there's a prayer wheel, and the prayer wheel is being used to spin it and then ask a question. So Eddie Murphy is like, you've got to imagine he's grabbing the prayer wheel and, you just spin it normally. And he's like, I want the knife, please. And he does it like a DJ, doing the spin with a record. I always think about that whenever I play this game, and Lara's putting these prayer wheels into here. Hey, Dredd. Welcome on in. He had colour in his hair, lol. His character in Game of Thrones is Tywin Lannister. Ah, so that's the name of his character. Cool. Yeah, he's such a great actor. That would have been the first movie I saw him in, The Golden Child, and he also played a great villain in Last Action Hero, which I feel is like a very underrated Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I think it's actually quite good. And I also saw him in Alien 3, and he was really good in that too. So everything I've seen him in so far, he's been a great actor. Dredd, you love actors that don't shy away from a variety of movie types, You guess some could be considered B movies. Oh yeah, Dredd. Yeah, Bruce Campbell is another actor who is like that too. Like, he can fit a whole variety of movie types, and primarily he's stuck in kind of like the B-grade cult horror or, sci-fi and, other sort of genres mixed together. But I think you could put him in something, that's A-grade and he would still do a great job as well. Like, I would have thought, like, I know that they went for a younger Sully in the Uncharted movie, but if they had actually gone for adapting the Uncharted games into a movie with Nathan Drake, the age that he was in those movies, or older, and they had to cast Sully in that kind of thing, I think he would have been a good kind of like Sully to have. In fact, there's actually a movie or a show where Bruce Campbell actually had the mustache like Sully and all that too, and wearing a Hawaiian shirt as well. I don't know how often Sully wears a Hawaiian shirt from memory, but maybe he doesn't at all. I'm just probably misremembering. But I thought that he would have been a good choice for Sully. He's kind of got the kind of like I guess it's a bit of a drawl maybe in his voice. Maybe that's not the right word to describe it. Yeah, Evil Dead. You loved him as Autolycus in Zeta and Hercules. I did too. It was so funny because watching those and having not seen Evil Dead yet at the time, when I first watched Evil Dead, I was like, he looks very, very, very familiar. And then a bit into the movie, I was like, aha, that's where I saw him. Hercules and Xena as Autolycus. Obviously, in Evil Dead 1, he's much younger than he was in the Xena and Hercules series, but I was like, aha. Okay, so this is actually where the first stream for today has to end. Um, I just wanted to thank everyone so much for watching this stream. I'm going to be taking a break of about an hour and 10 minutes. And when I do, when I come back from that, we'll continue on. I might be finishing the game today. We'll just have to see how the next stream goes. But I just want to thank everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. For those who won't be able to make it to the next stream, that's completely fine. Thank you so much for watching this one. For those that will be, I'll be back in an hour and 10 minutes to continue on with the playthrough. Dread, you hadn't either. You saw Evil Dead after. Oh, did you? Oh, nice, cool. Yeah, it's funny when that sort of like pans out like that with certain actors. You're like, hang on, very reminiscent. Dread, have a great break. You probably will. See you later. Oh, nice, Dread. Well, thank you. I definitely will have a great break. Before I go, though, just want to give some shout-outs. Would like to highly recommend people check out the following streamers if you haven't before. Gizlek, who has been doing Digimon World Data Squad. He's also a fan of a lot of other JRPGs, like the Yakuza series. Had a memory fart there for a moment. He's also a fan of the Assassin's Creed series as well as many other types of games. Just Retro Andy has been doing a playthrough of the Tomb Raider Remastered Trilogy. So if you're looking for another streamer who's playing through these remasters, definitely recommend checking out Andy's channel as well. Mr. Gote, he's playing games like Mortal Kombat 11, as well as the Outlast games, Dead Space. He's also a fan of Ghost Recon, as well as games like Hunt Showdown. Also highly recommend checking out Shaky. He's playing through Deus Ex Human Revolution. Definitely a great game that I would recommend people play if you haven't before. Also a great streamer to check out. Also highly recommend checking out Tylian. He plays a lot of third-person action adventure games like the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order game, as well as Horizon Zero Dawn, games like Alan Wake and Control as well. And also highly recommend checking out Off the Shelf Reviews. They're doing a playthrough of Alan Wake 2, going through with the New Game Plus, which is very different to other games' versions of New Game Plus. Not only do you carry over all your kind of like upgrades and all that from your previous save, but there's also new story elements that are added as well, and various other changes also. highly recommend checking out Off the Shelf Reviews. They're also a big fan of the Alien franchise, so you can see Alien Isolation and Alien. What was the name of it? There's the Fireteam one, as well as the what was the one that was most recent? I think it was most recent. I can't remember the name of the game off the top of my head though. I should put new Alien games into search, not just Alien. Dark Descent, that's it. But Off the Shelf Reviews also has a YouTube channel as well, and for over 10 years has been doing various movie reviews and also videos on certain video games as well. And they also have a podcast and all that as well. So highly recommend checking them out as well. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back in about an hour and 10 minutes with more Tomb Raider 2 Remastered. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one.